Hello, teacher Preston here with another video. Sorry, it's a bit wet here in Batumi, so my nose is a bit runny. I haven't got the flu or anything, but let's get into it. First, before we get started, some espresso, and just a slurp because it's early in the morning. So, something that I think I thought about or thought and talked about, I should say, um, in my last uh, a while ago, I think about 6 months now, but I'm not quite sure, is English culture. Um, so everybody talks about language and culture. We know of things that um, different cultures have to do with language. And we know about other cultures. We know about sort of Russian culture, or we know about French culture, Spanish, Italian culture, or Latin culture, those kind of things. And I just wanted to touch on things that I thought were pertinent to English. So, um, one thing off the top of my head is manners. So, saying please and thank you and helping the elderly and that kind of thing. Although not everybody does it, but it's still something that um, I think drilled in to English speaking people, especially countries like South Africa, the older generations like myself, Canada, Australia as well, but the States, well, United States. So, number one is manners, letting people go before you and that kind of thing. And I think that is where we sort of sometimes see clashes with people from sort of um, people from like Israel or Russia who might be brusque, but it's this sort of shell that they need to survive in their their environments, their especially Russia with the sort of upheaval from the breakup of the SSSR, and that you had to be sort of tough and a bit cold to sort of survive. That was just the nature of it. So to some English speakers, it sort of comes off across as rude, um, but it's not really like that. It's just that they had to be like that to survive. Um, so that's the one aspect. The other one is, I'd say, being punctual. So what I mean by punctual, so this sort of English view of time. So we always got told to be on time, um, to be at a meeting before the time it was supposed to start, or something like that, um, which I think is something that came from German, because English is a Germanic language. So it's something that's come from a Germanic way of doing things, because Germans, like English or Germanic speaking languages, tend to sort of have those traits. So maybe not specifically English, but it's a big thing in England to be punctual. So to be on time, not in necessarily England, but in English speaking culture in general. So, and that the work, how can I put it? Um, that sort of understanding doesn't translate into other uh, cultures so much sometimes. So, like in Spain and Latin America, people aren't on time, they're a bit laid back. Um, So there again, a sort of clash. I've seen it before. I was in Mexico, went, I was in, where was it? Playa del Carmen, walked down a beach road, found a sort of beach bar with chalets run by a German guy and a Hungarian guy that was an ex-legionnaire. Yeah, a bit strange, but anyway. And the Mexican workman didn't arrive on time and didn't get things fixed. And this really annoyed the German because he wanted to get things done. He wanted to get things organized. So another thing that comes off punctuality, I'd say, is organization and being organized. Okay, maybe not as organized as the Japanese or the Koreans, but still sort of systems. And yeah, general organization. So I think those are the sort of three things. So I'd say first, manners. Second, punctuality, so being on time. And third, I'd say organization. Also maybe from Germanic, that Germanic society, because the sort of cold countries had to be more organized because they had to be that way to survive. If you don't get food when it's available in a cold country, you'll sort of starve to death. I'm not talking about now, but maybe sort of 2000 years ago. So yeah, thank you for joining me for today's video and see you in my next video. Bye bye.